We're going to work on the guessing game. It is the first computer program you write if you want to be a software engineer creating games. We're going to work on using if, elif, and else decision making. But to do that, we need to make our game interesting. If the number that we're guessing is always the same, pretty boring. So we are going to learn how to generate random integers. Now, as you're working through any of my assignments, sometimes I put in fluffy little things that are just fun. This one has no fluffy things that are fun. Everything in this one is important. Like I create backstories for some of my programs. So I want commenting in the code, because if you're working with somebody else, they have no clue what you were thinking unless you wrote down why you were thinking this. I, as an instructor, want to know that you're understanding what you're doing and not just throwing things at the wall and hoping something sticks. Follow directions carefully, which means read it again. Sometimes my directions are not good. If that's the case, let me know. Directions are always minimum requirements. If you want to go above and beyond this, go right ahead. Make it into a big giant project. That's where the learning takes place. If all you do is the assignments in here, you can pass the class. Do you want to be excellent like Ernesto? Take projects and go above and beyond. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. No, I'm not really. But that's where the real learning takes place, is outside what I'm asking you to do. So I'm always asking you to do above and beyond. I call that creative license. As long as you demonstrate that you understand the concept, that's fine with me. I'm looking for evidence of understanding. Evidence meaning I want you to show me that you know what you're doing. All right, let's look at random integers. So in Python, in Visual Studio Code, I'm going to create a new file called the guessing game. And this is going to be our first version of it. We're going to work on multiple versions of this. So at the top in my example, I have like a little comments up there. I'm going to ignore that for now. Yeah, Nacio.
Oh, so it's also like
This will be version 1. Or this would be beta. So we'll just say guessing game alpha. I'll say this is alpha 0.11 because it's a very early version of our game. So 0.11 is very alpha. Beta is like when you're getting ready to release it. And then when you get to 1.0, there's your first real release. That's just kind of a general way they number things. So 0.11 is like, okay, we're just getting started with this. So we need to, Python has a certain amount of programming pieces built into it. Random integers is not built into what you normally get. It is part of Python, but it isn't automatically added into every program. Why? Because not every program needs random integers, right? So we add it when we need to it, and that's called importing it. Importing the random library. So this is a special collection of code that the Python developers wrote that you could add into your program if you wish. One of the nice things about Python, it's very extensible. I mean, there's a gazillion libraries of things. I've even written libraries. So there's a library that allows you to get information from Wikipedia. There's all kinds of things. You can get, you can get this place, what moon, you can get where the stars are, where the planets are. You can find your location on the physical location of your IP address. There's all kinds of things. We'll use lots of libraries as we go. So random is the name of the library. It is built into Python, but we have to say, okay, I want to include the random library in this program. So from random, which has lots of stuff in it, all I want to do, well, you can see, look at all those extra things I could do. I only want random integers because I'm doing the guessing game. I don't need random decimals or whatever those other things were. So now I can do random integers or random numbers. So the computer, we're going to generate a random number, right? After we generate the random number, what are we going to do?
make it a loop.
When I ran the program, what did I do? What was the next thing that happened?
Inputs.
We need input. So I'm just gonna pseudocode that out, get number from user, right? Then, and I'm not using to-dos, you can do it just like this too. So after I've got the number from the user, what would I do next?
Answer, that's correct.
Yep, we have to determine. Did you guess the number? Did you guess the number? Now, in between letting them know if they got the number right or not, we get the number from the user. How do we determine if we got the right number? Or is that what you were saying?
Yeah, you determine it.
Determine, okay, you did say that, okay, sorry. You would determine, yeah, or decide, determine. If you guess the number. Or the user guessed the number. After we've determined if they guessed the number, what was the last thing that happened?
Print result.
Do what?
Or what you said, but print results.
Print results, yep. So now I have every piece that I need. So I did this specifically because this is brand new. This next part's brand new, but just importing a library doesn't mean we can know how to use it. Every library works a little bit different. So we want to generate a random number and store it in a variable. So I'm going to say, I can't say random because that's a library name, but I can say random num or random number or whatever you want to name it. And over here, we're going to use the randint function. And as soon as I did that, notice that I get a little helper thing here that says return random integer and range 0 to AB, including both endpoints. So it's showing us actually what to type in. So I want to start at 1, put in a comma. I want to end at 10, and it says it includes both endpoints. So will this generate a random number between 1 and 10, including 1 and 10?
Yeah.
Yeah. Different programming languages will not include one or not include the other. They all have different rules for random numbers, but Python's pretty straightforward for that. So now I'm going to get a random number. I don't know which one it's going to be. It will be stored in here. Right? This is the computer generating a random number. Now, I don't know what that number is, but I am going to input my guess. So how do I get the number from the user? What is my code?
Random num equal to whatever.
How do I get a number from the user? I can't, you're starting to compare it already, and I haven't got the number from the user.
But did you?
Input equals integer?
Well, like int to. Well, no, sorry, whatever, guess equals, or like whatever you want your
Yeah,
variable to be.
There you go. Yeah, you got it now. So this is what we're gonna store it in. It could be guess, it could be anything.
Yeah,
And then whatever input we get, we want to convert it into an integer, right?
yeah.
And then we say, enter a number from 1 to 10 or whatever. We say from 1 to 10, but we mean we're including 1 to 10. Oops, I'm missing a parenthesis there. Parentheses always have to match. Double quotes always have to match. So now I'm getting, this actually has 3 steps, and just like the order of precedence in math, the first thing this input statement does is it says, enter a number from 1 to 10, and then it waits for you to enter something. Everything from the keyboard comes in as text. So when you enter the number 1, it reads that as text. Int converts that text that we just got into a number. And then that result is assigned to random. So now we have 2 numbers. How would we compare and determine, which is what H said, I'm just gonna call you H, boy, I'm having trouble with your name.
Let's see.
Hudson, boy, you got it more than I do. Hudson, I'm gonna have to just say Hudson every 5 seconds. Okay, Hudson said that Hudson said that we're gonna determine if you guess the number. Hudson, how would you determine if you guess the number right or not?
I would put if random, or in my case, I've named the user input, random num, or not random num, user num, but it would be if random num is equal to user num, and then you print out.
Well, hold on. You're talking faster than I can type. So how do I, what are the characters I use here? You said if random number
Would
equals,
it be equal, wouldn't it be equal, double equal something?
yeah, that's called the comparison operator. Which, is it equal to that? And you said guess, right?
Yeah,
Which this can be any name. This is just what we picked here. So if they're equal, what would we do?
then you would print correct or something along that line.
Yeah. I'll just make it simple and say you won. But without the feedback of the numbers and all that stuff, it's kind of a boring game. So we kind of determined the result and printed at the same time, didn't we? Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. Now, if we wanted to, yes, Ignacio,
I have a question.
Sure.
So this is just for like future, so I know, like, for example, let's say we have an exam and we're doing something similar. And we need to,
so if I type in, if I determined that I won, how would I let the user know what the actual number was? Because you notice the one that I ran before said, oh, you won. Right? Well, we don't have to type in the user for that. I'm sorry. If we didn't win, what would we use? For it? Right, because either we win or we don't. Sorry, my brain got confused. So I would print out, you lost, loser, whatever. You loser. How would I print out the actual number I should have guessed? Because I know what I typed in. How would I print out, hey, dude, the number was this? Do I have to make a decision? At this point, do I know what the random number is?
yes,
I knew that from right up here. So could I just print out that random number to let the user know? Mhm. So I could say, the number was, and then I can use a comma because I don't remember when we get to the good stuff yet. Random number. There we go. And then it'll say the number was this. Because you know what you type, you could type in, you could also say your number was, your guess was this, the real number was this also, because both those variables exist until the program ends. Once the variables are created, they're there for the entire lifetime of the program. Once the program ends, everything is thrown away, and Python has a little garbage collector that goes along like a, what is that little character that munches things? Pac-Man.
oh,
It has like a little garbage collector, like Pac-Man says, oh, we don't need this memory anymore. Let's send it back to the operating system. So it does its own housekeeping. Did I kind of give you the entire answer? Yeah. Oh, I don't have oh, there it is. Yep. Enter your guess between 1 and 10. Sorry, the number was 8. Done. Oh, well, what if I want done to be printed every time? Where would I put done?
Below
To that, what was that again?
everything.
Yeah.
Outside of the else.
And outside of means in Python indentation. Everything indented over here belongs to else. This belongs to this. If I'm over here, as Hudson, sorry, as Hudson just, sorry, my peanuts are coming back to me. This runs no matter what happens. So Python pays attention from left to right. Some languages will do curly braces and all kinds of stuff. If you've programmed in like C or Java or anything else, JavaScript, whatever, you got all kinds of curly braces going on. Python does it by indentation only. Is that the answer to the program? Yeah. So one of the things that I will usually put in here I will put in something that I call requirements. When you're a software developer or whatever you're doing, you're going to have, this is what I want you to do. And then programming and database and all that is called requirements. And then typically you call it business requirements. The business hiring you wants to have a program that does these certain things. The computer picks a random number. The user guesses. We use this to check the guess. Oh, I didn't quite finish it, did I? Good. You still have this piece because you want to let them know, is it too low? Is it too high? Is it just right? Is it correct? So once you get this, I can't remember, it's maybe a couple of weeks, we'll include a user so you can keep playing. And then you can keep playing and keep track of all your scores so you can have a running total. And I mean, yeah, this could keep going for a long time. But this is what we're doing at this point. And I didn't actually do that in my example run, did I? Okay. I did not satisfy my own requirements. Yes, Ignacio?
I have a question. When
Sure.
I'm doing homework like this, like once we're done with the code and everything, are we allowed to